Yeah, hi, Billy. Just the way the season ended for you, I'm sure very frustrating. I mean, you had the shutout against Montreal, but overall, sure you weren't pleased with it. When you look back at the way it ended, how much do you attribute that to injury or to just the heavy workload, or what do you think some of the reasons were?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just need to be better at the end of the day, and I'm not happy at all how it ended, and I feel like uh, there was a chance that I wouldn't play when there was like 10 games left, and then I wanted to come back and still play more games. So, but yeah, not happy how it ended, and it's just something that I need to improve for next year.
But and just the way you played for maybe the first three quarters of the season or for however long, what do you take from that? What do you hope to build off of that going into next year?
Yeah, it's just learn a lot this year again, and you know I feel like as a team too, we got more comfortable when the season went on, and we need to just bring that for next year, and every night battle for the 2 points and get the win. So I think there was a couple games we lost it, overtime or whatever, and I think those games for next year is going to be huge for us.
And if you are called, I know it was a career high in games for you this year, and if you are called upon next year to have a similar kind of workload, do you feel you'll be better prepared for it, having been through it?
Yeah, I'll actually gonna be here all summer, training here, and hopefully we're gonna have a good summer, and it's just something for next year. I think play the same amount of games, and when we make the playoffs, then play even more games. So it's gonna be a good mental challenge, but as same time, I need to be better shape.
Thanks.
Hey, Ville, you mentioned kind of that possibility that you could have gotten shut down with like 10 games left. Why was that important to you to come back and to play a little more before the end of the year?
Yeah, I think just to test it out too, and I always want to play games, so I think it was nice for me to come back and got that little 10 days off there, and then played in Montreal and a couple more games after that. So it was a nice thing though.
How much, if at all, were you still feeling whatever it was that was bothering you down the stretch, or were you pretty much past it by then?
No, it was all gone, and I felt good at the end. I think it's just something else that my game wasn't good enough. So, but it wasn't the injury at all.
Do you have any plans to go to Worlds this summer?
Uh, I was thinking about it, but probably not. I would say it's gonna be a big year next year, and I think I need to start focus for that.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Billy, you mentioned planning to stay here this summer. Was that your idea? Is that something you talked with staff about? I guess how did that come
Well,
about?
I think it's the setup here is amazing. A lot of guys are staying, so I think it's just I feel it's home here, and I wanna be here too. So it's gonna be a good summer here, and excited about it.
And I guess how do you go about preparing yourself now that you've been through it with the workload as you talked about? What do you do something different this summer? How do you train differently to
Yeah,
prepare?
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be different for sure staying here, and but like I said, I'm excited, and uh, you know, here is where I play the game. So I think it's uh, Rob, our strength coach, he's gonna be able to help me to play a lot of games next year, hopefully, and be in the playoffs as well.
You mentioned it feels like home. I guess when did it start to feel like that, and how important is that?
Uh, I mean, when I came the first day, it's always been nice to be at the rink. All the guys, it's been amazing here. So I would say right away felt it like home.
Thanks, Billy.
Hey, Billy admitted you're staying because of the air conditioning. I remember what you said a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hey, talk about what's the difference? Do you see any similarities between where you guys are now and where the Blues were early on in your career or whatnot?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't look at it that way. It's different guys here, and it's something that we need to, as a team, we need to do it. And I think this year was really good for us, for young guys. And but for I think next year we need to, everybody need to step up a little more, and we just need to do it.
And you kind of alluded to it the first couple questions. I mean, so as you go into next season, just playing a good, solid, consistent whole season, is that something in your mind that you still have to prove to yourself and to other people, I guess?
Yeah, I think, I want to be, every night be the best, give the chance for the team. And I think this year there was, especially at the end, I didn't give a chance for the team to win. So that's something that I need to, for next year, I need to be better, and I will.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Hey, Ville. Hopefully this makes sense. I know that, I need to get stronger. You wanted to play, 60 games. You played 56. But how does a goalie, it's such a unique position in all of professional sports, not so much physically getting stronger or to that grind, but mental endurance. How will you approach it mentally? Is there something that you're going to try this summer? Have you looked into it to make sure that physically I can play 60 games? I got to kind of maybe reassess mentally how I approach things.
Yeah, maybe maybe I'll get like mental coach or something this summer, and but yeah, I need like a little time off now from the hockey part, and then when I start training, I'll for sure look into it if somebody can help me with the mental part, and whatever it is, like breathing exercise or whatever. Like I'm open-minded for all that stuff.
I'm not trying to have a session here with you or anything, but what mentally, when it starts to go south mentally for you, is it just you're just physically drained or lack of confidence, or what happens when it's not so much a physical thing I'm going through, but it's a mental thing?
Yeah, as a goalie, it's hard to explain it to you, I guess, and it's just something, when you are at the net by yourself, like, you need to be mentally strong, whatever happens. And I guess at the end there, like, I probably got score like easy goals. So, I just need to, for next year, whatever happens, like I need to bounce right back.
When you look at the young defensive core that you could have playing in front of you, although some of them are accomplished, such as Mo Seider, how much does that change if, and I'm kind of penciling in a lineup here for you, but, you have Mo, who's only 22, perhaps Simon Edvinsson, maybe Albert Johansson, that there's a young core of defensemen there. Does that change the way you will approach maybe your game?
That's a good question, actually. I wouldn't say it would change a lot, but for sure there is some little things, in the game, like all those guys are really good D-man, so, maybe it's something I need to talk to Vesti, the goalie coach, about it too, and but like Mo this year, he blocked amazing amount of shots, like, crazy amount, and that like helps our game too, less shots for us. So, but yeah, I think all those guys, they all move well, and they can make some points as well. So, but as a goalie perspective, I think there might be little things that we could use for next year.
Your interview with Jimmy Howard on Bally's, Ted alluded to it. I think the one thing that we all kind of took away with it being from North America is the lack of air conditioning, I guess, in all of Europe, from what I've heard. I'm kind of curious, and forgive me for asking this, but when your playing days are over many, many, many years from now, and if you decide to move back to Finland, will your home have central air conditioning?
Yes, 100%.
Really? Will it be the only home on the block? I mean, are you going to send a trend, or I can't.
I hope. I hope that they are starting to build more and more of those ACs there, so everybody could have them.
All right. Well, good. All right, Willie. Hey, thank you, really appreciate it this year, and best of luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, those are all the questions we had. Really, thanks for the time today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Billy.